Choosing the right motherboard for your build is an important aspect, but choosing a motherboard on a budget which is capable enough of handling long working sessions is more important as well as more difficult. So in this video I'm going to show you what this board offers you and at which price point. So let's jump in. This is MSI MAG B550 Torpedo, a full-size ATX motherboard with tons of fan connectors, ARGB headers, RGB headers, and tons of storage connectivity. This board has exact VRM configuration of its older brother MSI MAG B550 Tomahawk. You can pause this video and check the configuration showing in the screen. On storage, you have two NVMe M.2 drive slots, out of which first one supports PCIe Gen 4 and the second one supports PCIe Gen 3, as well as six Gbps data ports, and they are all mounted at a 90-degree angle, which makes your life easier when you route the cables. You will get an onboard Type-C header on this motherboard, as well as 8 4-pin PWM fan headers, including one water pump header, 2 RGB headers and 2 ARGB headers, a beefier heatsink on VRM and SoC, as well as pre-installed IO Shield with Realtek 8125B 2.5 GHz Ethernet port. The audio on this motherboard, you will get Realtek ALC 1200 codec, which supports 7.1 high definition audio as well as SPDIF out. You also get 5 3.5mm audio connectors on the audio section of this motherboard, as well as BIOS flashback button, a manual switch to turn off all the LEDs of your system, as well as easy debug LED to diagnose all your connected hardware. So let's start our unboxing and let me show you real quick about the motherboard and what processors does this board supports. I have purchased this motherboard from MD Computers and they have packed it very well. As you can see, lots and lots of layers of packaging. So here is our board, and it written on the box Ryzen 5000 desktop ready, which means I can easily install my new AMD Ryzen 5 5600G CPU. And also I have requested MD Computers to update the BIOS, and they have already updated the BIOS, so I don't have to worry about updating the BIOS and all that, which is really cool thing. And as they have opened the box and updated the BIOS, that's why the motherboard box doesn't have any seal. And after opening the box, first we see the motherboard, and then we have two SATA 6 Gbps cables, out of which one have a 90-degree angle and another is a regular, a product guide, a badge sticker. I'm a great fan of badge stickers and I really love to stick those stickers in my case. Let me show you. This is from my old build. As you can see, there are lots of badge stickers that I have already installed. So let's come to the motherboard box. We have a DVD. It's very important if you still have those ODD drives, or if you don't have internet connection, or you don't have enough data on your internet connection, because it will cost you around 7 GB of the data. We have some kind of flyers and product guide booklet, which is equally important. You can study it. We have some screws for the NVMe drives, and that's it. It doesn't have anything fancy. And now let's talk about the price. It cost me around 13,890 rupees, but after adding the taxes, which is 18% of IGST, it cost me around 15,800 rupees. And in conclusion, it's a great motherboard. It offers very useful set of features, but few things that I need to tell before ending this video is you can only run the first PCIe NVMe drive at PCIe 4.0 speed if you pair this motherboard with a Ryzen 5000 X series processor. If you pair this motherboard with 5000 G series processor, you will only run the first PCIe NVMe drive as PCIe 3.0, as the G series processors only support PCIe 3.0. The interesting part of this motherboard is you can use all the SATA ports along with two NVMe drives in this motherboard, and it won't block any SATA port. Only the third PCIe 3 port will be unavailable. This motherboard has two PCIe graphics card slots which support Crossfire. I don't know whether it supports SLI or not. I have no idea. There is nothing written on the box. The only con on this motherboard is that it only has 6 USB ports at the rear I/O, out of which 2 of them are USB 2.0 Type A, another 2 of them are USB 3.2 Gen 1 Type A ports, one USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type A port, and lastly one USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type C port. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please drop a like and share this video with your friends. And if you are new to my channel, I request you to subscribe my channel. Also click the notification bell so that you will never miss any of this kind of videos. And if you have watched this video this far, I really appreciate you, and have a great time. Catch you up later. Bye and thanks for watching.